So hello guys, this is Ankit Singh. My topic is SQL, stands for Structured Query Language. So I have given a seminar presentation on this topic in my college. So I just wanted to share with you all guys. So in this, firstly, we will see the table of content, which we have introduction to SQL and MySQL, what is database and its types, characteristics of databases, what is SQL and its use, basics of SQL syntax, key points, statements used in SQL, filtering data in SQL, real life implementation, examples, pros, cons, and conclusion. So the aim of this video is to give an overview of SQL, that what is SQL, what are the uses of SQL, basic syntaxes in SQL, so and to make you understand with the help of real life implementation. I have done a project digital music store analysis. So by the help of this, I will explain you. So in this, firstly, we will see introduction to SQL and MySQL. In today's data-driven world, SQL is a foundational for anyone working with data. It allows users to interact with databases, manipulate data, and extract meaningful insights. So as we know that every second we are creating millions of data. So to interact with that data, SQL is important. So without knowing SQL, we can't interact with databases. So SQL is basically used to interact with the databases so that we can manipulate data and extract meaningful information from that data. So whether you are a data analyst, data scientist, or business professional, understanding SQL is essential for effectively working with the data. So firstly, question comes that what is the database? So database is organized collection of structured information or data stored electronically in a computer. So database is just a collection of relational data in a organized way. So this is database, and here are the types of database. Firstly is relational database, NoSQL database, and the graph database. Uh, After the types of database, characteristics of database comes. Here are some characteristics of it. First is structured storage, data integrity, security, and scalability. After this comes that what is SQL? So SQL is a programming language used for managing and manipulating relational data. So SQL is just a language which we use to interact with the database. So if you want to create, modify, retrieve, or make an update in data, so by the help of SQL, we can do it in the databases. So without knowing SQL, you can't make a change in the database. So this is all about SQL, and these are the uses of SQL. First is data management. Data management means you are getting it to manage the data. And second is query language. There are what queries you want to do in the database. And third is database connectivity. SQL is used to communicate with the data. That is called database connectivity. And next comes basics of SQL syntax. First is structured language. So the SQL syntax is in a organized way and in a very structured manner. So that is the one point, and second is key components. There are many key components that are called statements we use in the SQL syntaxes like select, from, where, and many other clauses and statements are we. And third one is logical operators. Basically, we use and, or, and not. There are three logical operators. The use of these logical operators comes when the multiple condition comes for any query. For example, we take a database of employees, and we just want to fetch the data of employees whose age is greater than 20 and salary is less than 30,000. So here are the two conditions. First is each should be greater than 20, and second is that the salary should be less than 30,000. So here we will use AND logical operator, and like this similarly we use OR and NOT according to the query. So these are the basics of SQL syntax. Here are some key points that statements we use like select, insert, update, and delete. Functions we use in SQL syntaxes, and clarity and readability. So SQL syntax is very clear, or we can say that it is easy to understand. It is very basic programming language. We can understand it easily. So statements used in SQL. There are many statements we use in SQL. First is select statement. Select statement is used to retrieve data from the database. So by this, in this here I have given a syntax that firstly we do select and what column we want to fetch from the database, and after that second line should be from and that table name from which table we want to fetch that particular column, and after that condition comes. So there is a proper manner and a proper, we can say that there is a proper organized way so that to read to write the syntax of SQL. So second is insert into statement. Add a new column to the table. So insert into statement is to use to add a new record in the table. Here is the syntax of that insert into and that name of the table and particular column which you want to add and the values you want to add. So and after that update statement comes, that update is used to modify existing record in the table. Here is the syntax of that: update table name and set and column and values of that column. After that, conditions are coming. There is a condition in that query. So these are the statements, basic statement. There are many more statements we use in SQL syntax, and here are filtering data used in SQL. First is where clause. So filter records returned by select, update, and delete statement, and syntaxes are syntax of this is basically when there is a single condition where then where clause is used, and when there are multiple conditions then logical operator we use in that where clause. So here I have explained already logical operators. So here is the syntax of that, and after that comes joining table to combine data. So here join comes. There are three types of joins: inner join, outer join, and cross join. So these joins are used to combine two tables, two data, or multiple tables and multiple data. We can say that first is inner join. So inner join combines two rows or two tables. Basically, for example, I take table 1 and table 2. There is two table. If we do inner join, it will give matching records and excludes non-matching records. But in outer join, it will give the matching records, but it will display null values of non-matching records. And this is the basic difference. And third one is cross join. Cross join is just a Cartesian product. If you know Cartesian product, it is easily to understand what is cross join. It is the combination of rows between the two tables. So this is the joins. These are the joins. And after that, real life implementation in SQL. So I have done a project, digital music store analysis, in which I have analyzed the music store database. So in this, I have explained all the uh, project procedure in just 5 steps. So the first step comes that understanding the database schema. So here is the schema. I have pasted here. That schema is told us that are the relationships between the tables. So after getting these, and you have to go thoroughly through this schema, database schema, so that you can understand the relationships between the tables. So it will make easier after when you do query on that database. So after that, second step comes that connecting to the database. So use a SQL client or a command line interface to connect with the database. And after that, third step comes write some basic queries to make sure that you are connected with the data. And the fourth step comes that data cleaning and transformation. This is a crucial steps to remove the the null data or duplicacy in the data. After cleaning the data, the final steps comes that performing analysis. That what query you want to do in that database. So here are some basic queries which we have done. So, for example, which country have the most invoices? What are the top three values of total invoices? So, according to the query, the codings are or the programming is done. So you can check out this on my GitHub link I have given already. So here are some more examples like data analytics, web development, business reporting. And after that, pros comes that ease of use, standardization, robustness, scalability, and data integrity, security. And here are some cons like limited support for non-relational data, performance bottleneck, learning curve, vendor lock-in, complex joins, and scaling challenges. Here are some tools for query development and management. SQL query and development and management. First comes SQL Server Management Studio. Second is MySQL Workbench. Third is SQL Developer, given by Oracle. And for data visualization, there are more. First is Tableau. Second is Power BI and Looker. So conclusion comes. So basically, conclusion is that if you want to interact with the database, you should know SQL. Without knowing SQL, you can't interact with database and you can't make a change in database. So this is all about SQL. Thank you guys. Give your valuable review on my video. Thank you.